What if I told you that one of the most iconic car brands of the 20th century did just fade away, but was deliberately erased from history? This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's the shocking, true story of Datsun. You probably know the name. You might even remember the cars. But do you know why they vanished? Stay with me, because the reason will change how you see the entire auto industry. And you won't believe what's happening with the brand right now in 2026. Let's rewind all the way back to 1914. Before Datsun, there was a car called the Dat. The name came from the initials of its three investors, Den, Aoyama, and Takeuchi. It was a simple, pioneering vehicle for Japan. But the real story begins in 1931 with a new, smaller model. They called it the Son of Dat, or Datsun. A perfect name, right? Well, there was one tiny problem. In Japanese, son sounds like the word for loss. To avoid bad luck, they changed one letter, and in 1933, Datsun was born, with sun symbolizing Japan's rising sun. A simple change that set the stage for a global automotive giant. The first car to officially wear the Datsun name was the Datsun 12. It was a small, practical car that looked a lot like the British Austin 7, which was a huge influence on car design at the time. These early Datsuns were focused on being affordable and reliable for the average person in Japan. They weren't powerful, but they were tough. When World War II hit, Datsun, like many Japanese companies, shifted its production to military vehicles for the Imperial Army. Passenger car development stopped completely. It was a dark period, but the engineering skills they honed during the war would prove crucial for their post-war comeback. After the war, Japan's economy was in ruins. People needed cheap, dependable transportation more than ever. Datsun, under its parent company Nissan, answered the call. They started by building licensed versions of the British Austin A40 and A50. This wasn't just copying, it was a masterclass. Datsun engineers studied every bolt, every weld, and learned the secrets of mass production from the West. This knowledge transfer was the springboard they needed. By the late 1950s, they were ready to stop borrowing designs and start creating their own, setting their sights on a massive, untapped market, America. In 1958, Datsun entered the U.S. with the 1000 sedan, also known as the Bluebird, and a small pickup truck. It was a complete disaster. The cars were underpowered for American highways and prone to rust. They sold less than 1,000 cars in their first year. Many companies would have packed up and gone home, but Datsun didn't. They listened, they learned, and they went back to the drawing board. This failure was the most important lesson they ever learned. It taught them that to win over America, they needed a car designed for Americans. That car arrived in 1968. It was the Datsun 510. This wasn't just another small, cheap car. It was a revelation. The 510 had a Pepe overhead cam engine, a sophisticated independent rear suspension, and styling that was clean and modern. Car magazines called it the poor man's BMW. It could handle corners with precision and was incredibly fun to drive, all while being affordable and reliable. The 510 single-handedly changed America's perception of Japanese cars, They weren't just economy boxes anymore. They could be exciting, performance-oriented machines. The Datsun 510 became a legend on the racetrack and a beloved classic that's still sought after today. But Datsun was just getting warmed up, while the 510 conquered the sedan market. They were secretly working on something that would shake the sports car world to its core. European brands like Jaguar and Porsche dominated the scene with beautiful but expensive and often unreliable cars. The president of Nissan's U.S. operations, a man named Yutaka Katayama, or Mr. K, saw an opening. He envisioned a sports car with breathtaking style, thrilling performance, and Japanese reliability, all at a price the average person could afford. His vision would become one of the most important cars ever made. If you're enjoying this journey through automotive history, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. We dive deep into stories like this every week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. In 1969, the world met the Datsun 240. It was an absolute bombshell. It had the long hood and short deck of a classic European GT car, a powerful 2.4-liter straight-six engine, and a price tag that was thousands less than its rivals. It was an instant sensation. Dealerships had waiting lists stretching for months. The 240 wasn't just a car. It was a cultural phenomenon. It proved that a sports car could be both exhilarating and dependable. It sold over 150,000 units in just a few years, completely rewriting the rules of the sports car market and cementing Datsun's place as a global powerhouse. The 1970s brought the oil crisis, and suddenly, fuel economy was everything. Datsun was perfectly positioned. While giant American V8s became dinosaurs overnight, Datsun's small, efficient cars like the B210 became bestsellers. The B210, with its quirky Honeybee Special Edition, promised and delivered incredible gas mileage. At the same time, the Z car evolved. The 260Z and then the 280Z added more power and comfort, moving slightly upmarket, but still representing incredible value. Datsun was firing on all cylinders, from an ultra-economical commuter to a desirable sports car. They even dominated the small truck market with their famously indestructible pickups. It seemed like nothing could stop them. And then, the unthinkable happened. At the peak of its success, Datsun began to disappear. In 1981, the parent company, Nissan, made a shocking decision. They decided to phase out the Datsun name globally and rebrand all cars as Nissan. The logic was to build a single, unified global brand. From a corporate perspective, it made sense. But for the public, it was confusing and heartbreaking. The name Datsun had built up decades of goodwill, representing reliability, value, and fun. Nissan was relatively unknown in markets like the US. The transition was slow and awkward. For a few years, cars were sold with both Datsun and Nissan badges, sometimes with a Datsun by Nissan logo. By 1986, the Datsun name was officially gone from the American market. The legendary Z-Car became the Nissan 300ZX. The trusty Sentra replaced the old Datsun sedans. An entire brand, beloved by millions, was intentionally wiped from showrooms. It's considered one of the most risky and controversial rebranding efforts in corporate history. For a generation of drivers, it felt like losing an old friend. For nearly 30 years, the Datsun name lay dormant, living on only in the hearts of classic car enthusiasts and on the badges of vintage models. Nissan had successfully established its own brand name worldwide. It seemed the story of Datsun was well and truly over, a closed chapter in automotive history. But brands, like legends, sometimes have a way of coming back. In 2013, Nissan announced something nobody expected. They were resurrecting the Datsun brand. But this wasn't the Datsun you remember. The new mission wasn't to sell sports cars in America. Instead, the revived Datsun was targeted at emerging markets like India, Indonesia, and Russia. The goal was to provide ultra-low-cost, entry-level transportation for first-time car buyers. The first new model, the Datsun Go, was a small no-frills hatchback built on a budget. The idea was to repeat the original Datsun formula from the 1930s. Simple, affordable mobility. However, the comeback was a struggle. The new Datsun cars faced intense competition from other budget brands. More importantly, they were plagued by safety concerns. The Datsun Go received a 0-star safety rating in crash tests, leading to major public backlash. The brand that was once synonymous with quality and reliability was now associated with danger. Sales faltered, and the brand failed to capture the imagination of a new generation of buyers. The magic just wasn't there. After less than a decade, in 2022, Nissan pulled the plug once again. The Datsun comeback was over. The brand was killed off for a second time. And this is where the story takes its final, most incredible turn. We are now in 2026. The automotive world is in the middle of a massive electric revolution. Nostalgia is a powerful force, and classic car designs are making a comeback in EV form. And just when everyone had counted Datsun out for good, a secret project within Nissan, codenamed Project Zrevival, has been greenlit. Learning from the mistakes of the 2013 relaunch, Nissan is bringing Datsun back one more time. But this time, it's different. The new Datsun is an all-electric sub-brand. Its mission is to create affordable, stylish, and fun-to-drive EVs inspired by its greatest hits. The first car to launch is the Datsun 510e. It perfectly captures the clean, boxy aesthetic of the original 510, but it's a thoroughly modern electric car with a 300-mile range. It's followed by the Fairlady EV, a stunning two-seat roadster that pays homage to the legendary 240Z by focusing on its heritage of lightweight, fun, and affordable performance. Datsun has finally found its place in the 21st century. The brand wasn't erased. It was just waiting for the right moment to be reborn. From the son of Dat to a global icon, from being erased to a failed comeback, and now a final electric revival. The story of Datsun is a roller coaster of incredible highs and baffling lows. It's a testament to the power of a name and the passion of the people who love the cars. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow for more incredible automotive stories.